got a phone.
And?
Do you have a tripod though?
Wilson can
got a hand.
take a 3D video.
I have a tripod.
I guess.
They used to call me.
That would be amazing. I want to see a 3D video of Ben. I want you.
Video's going. Oh, wait.
I got
You never told me hard.
Sorry. Okay, so I'm Ben Treesh. I'm running for CTF Admin. I've played games in the UGL for 3 semesters now. I have been a mod for CTF. I'm currently a mod for DAG. And I like this organization a lot. So I'm just going to open it up to questions because, yeah. Alright, Spivey.
Getting people to games is always a problem. How are you going to do it? And don't say flyers. I'll throw something at you.
I'm going to post events on Facebook. That way, even if somebody says they're going, usually it will still remind them like an hour before and stuff like that. So that's really helpful in getting people to come and reminding them that it's happening. Steven.
I know you just said about posting on Facebook with events, and I know basically everyone but the current CTF admin has done that and thought it was a good idea. So I just want you to go in a little bit more. I'm kind of curious on this.
As in how often?
Like, how does it work exactly?
If somebody says they're coming, then it will remind them beforehand, about an hour beforehand in the day, that it's happening.
So it's like a reminder to make sure I'm there.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Why didn't the old ones do that?
Jules?
The old ones did.
Okay, as someone that knows how Facebook works, here's the thing though. The Facebook events and things like that, that's only going to work for people that are already in the organization and we've already got going on. So at this point, that's kind of, if that's the only way of getting people, that's a little exclusive. How are we going to get those new people that have never heard of UGL, somehow, don't know what CTF is, how are we going to get them? Besides flyers.
Well, every time, tell people to bring their friends. This is just a thought that I just came up with after you asked that question. Maybe offer, I don't know, perk or something to people for
Refer a friend?
Yeah, refer a friend program.
And then their friends and refer their friends, and then they get their friends, and then they get their roommates.
But then
friends,
we're still
and then
kind
their
of getting
roommates,
like,
and then their family.
if I bring my friends and they bring their friends, we're still kind of going off the general trail of like the UGL person. How are you going to grab the not UGL person and get them in?
Well, let me ask you a question, Jules. Do you like kittens?
No.
Then I've got a game for you.
I'm giving shit about your cat, Nick.
Sarah, I believe, had a question.
What's your favorite game variation?
My favorite game variation is probably Medic. I love Medic.
What's your least favorite?
My least favorite is socks only because I am terrible at throwing socks.
However,
However, I have a mod that loves socks, so that will not affect the frequency in which we will play that game mode, because I will have a mod that does very, very much like socks only. So
I think you broke them.
love you, Paul. Steven.
So I know everybody's been talking about breaking out from the UGL cycle and all that. And I know people like Natalie and like both of my sisters have like came forward to like me and you asking about like, hey, do you want to do something UGL involving the for fraternities and sorority programs? Because I know DeFreeze was trying to make that a big thing. Would you still be willing to do that as an admin?
Yes, I would. I did mention I was running for I don't know if I actually ever said that. I'm running for CTF admin in case I never said that. I'm not sure if I said that. Okay, Jules.
As possible CTF admin, do you think your lack of experience in dodgeball will do bad things for your administration?
I have gone to dodgeball once this semester, and while I have not come much, one of my mods does very much cover that experience base, considering he is I believe currently being considered the potential replacement for the current dodgeball admin.
I'll ask a follow-up question then. In what way does dodgeball experience help at all with CTF?
Socks. I can beam you with a sock from over here and hit you in the face if I try.
Unless he dodges.
Or duh.
We know the importance of socks in this game, and that it is very easy to sneak up on somebody with a sock. And in dodgeball, it's not easy to sneak up, but trajectory and stuff. Bambi.
Your opinion on the Michael Spivey issue?
Roll. Sarah.
How did you feel about dodgeball CTF?
I think that is a very interesting mix, and as long as the baseball person doesn't come, I think it'll be fine.
Okay.
Spidey.
At one point in time, we had a third team that didn't have an allegiance to either flag. How do you feel about that, and would you implement it ever again?
I am not familiar with that.
Were you not there for that?
I don't think I was there for that one. However, that seems interesting, and I would, if you want to explain it further at a later time, I would totally be willing to listen. Anybody else have any? Garrett.
A lot of the time we get people that they want certain game modes, they want to do certain things. Like, how do you plan on reaching as much of the player base as possible?
As in?
Like, providing what everybody wants. Like, you can't please everybody, but how are you going to try and get each, at least everybody pleased once?
That is a good question. I mean, you could always create. I could always create a survey thing on the Facebook page for CTF, or just ask people, make it and say, okay, we're gonna at least play this once tonight, just for that. I mean, ask people. That'd be the easiest way, I think. Jules.
What's your favorite Fritz Lang film?
Good question.
2 people in this room care about what you say right now. German expressionist director Fritz Lang.
I'm gonna list off some because I'm not very familiar with.
Metropolis, Fury,
M.
You Only Live Once, the original Yo.
If you don't really know German expressionism, how can you run Capture the Flag?
That's a deep issue.
Very careful.
By learning it in the meantime.
Wow.
Innovate.
That's a big
I like
promise.
this. You're actually going to change.
It's a big. If
Jules,
you,
you two will have to help me with that then.
if you win, I'm holding you to it.
You guys are
No
definitely
joke.
gonna have to help me with that then.
Fritz Lang night.
No joke. Hold me to it.
Not sure what I just got myself into, honestly. Anybody else have any questions? Spivey.
You mentioned that one of your mods had dodgeball experience, yada yada. Do you have a mod staff in mind then?
I have at least one person at this point, and that would be Paul.
Okay.
Who's
that?
Shut up, Paul.
I don't know who's Paul. And Sarah had a question too.
Do you like bad movies?
I do like bad movies
Why don't you come to Bad Movie Mondays then?
because my Mondays are usually very hectic.
No, they're not.
Get late.
I coerced him to staying in the room.
Good response. No.
Paul sucks at Pokemon.
Shut up. That's not relevant. Shut up, Joel.
How much time do we have?
I wasn't keeping track. I thought Garrett was.
I got it. You got a minute 30.
Okay.
Those men say I don't know.
I do not remember your name right now.
It is not relevant.
It's Carson.
Never mind.
It's Mikhail.
We can't go over too.
I do know you though.
You had a question.
Steven.
How do you feel about Steffens and other type of darts?
I will consider any dart. However, it has got to be pain tested first.
Alright.
I mean, I'm not going to
Oh,
just
that's
outlaw a
it.
dart because it's not standard Nerf brand or standard Busby, but I will say that I'm going to make sure it's pain tested first if it is not one of those two. So that'll be on a dart by dart basis. Jules,
What if I'm using name brand airsoft supplies?
out of a Nerf gun?
No, I mean I'm shooting you with name brand airsoft BBs, not the cheap foreign
I think
kind.
that'll hurt and kind kind of reduce the player base. So
You
probably
can shoot
not.
them at weapons.
Are you not on the Evan Nunn team then?
He
Not
okayed
for
that.
that specific instance. No.
He okayed it for me personally against a certain person, and that was it. So it's all good.
I'm scared.
It's a little bit blonde hair if you should.
Ye
Paul.
afraid.
I believe the person whose name is forgotten was going to say this. Are you a Russian spy?
Carson.
Or should I say, Wolf?
Oh, you got him. Wolf made himself a little